Listen, I am all for interesting marketing gimmicks, but I feel like Elf may have lost the plot just a smidgen.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, I'm Amanda watching Swell Entertainment. Today we are talking about Elf Cosmetics and their interesting last few marketing moves. For those who don't know, Elf Cosmetics is a very affordable makeup and beauty brand. Mostly I would buy from them when I was growing up from Target, but I believe they're in most stores wherever they sell makeup. First, let me tell you about our sponsor, Squarespace. Regardless of what you could possibly want a website for, whether you want world domination or just to, share more of your thoughts the way I do with swellentertainment.com, Squarespace is the place to do it. Squarespace has it all. Flexible website templates, and with Fluid Engine, you can customize any part of it. You can run email campaigns, set up or revamp your online store. And if you're a content creator just starting out, you can even start selling custom merch. Also add portfolios and galleries of your social media posts or work, which is something I'm currently adding to swellentertainment.com. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch your website, go to squarespace.com/swellentertainment to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/swellentertainment, and thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. This was actually going to be a different video. This was going to be a review of Mean Girls, the musical, the movie. And that was how we were going to bring back in Amanda making film and show reviews post the strike. Renee Rapp playing Regina obviously was going to be a scene stealer. But the actress they got to play, Katie Angry Rice, beautiful girl. Not a great voice for this role. Movie adaptation of a musical based on a movie, okay? But when I think of musical theater singers, I think of literal high performance athletes. Like, I think of insane pipes, okay, in musical theater. And then you have Angry, whose voice is very much talk singing. And then when you have songs like Janice's song and Regina's songs, of course her voice sounds like comparatively, it just sounds worse. And I don't think it's like a good fit. And then also that one part where they have her filming like right here at her chin, that was weird. Anyways, unrelated. We're not doing a review of the movie. The movie's fine. I'm just someone that thinks that medium matters, and something that works on a stage doesn't always work on the screen. And in this case, when it's a musical based on a movie, we already have the movie. Did we really need this? I don't know. But the reason that this spawned the Elf Cosmetics video is because Elf Cosmetics is one of the major brands/products placed throughout the movie in such a comically obvious way that people have been talking about it more than I think they've been talking about the actual singing of the musical movie itself. Like, picture this is Elf Cosmetics. It's Kosas, because I don't even wear Elf Cosmetics anymore, really. So imagine I'm Katie. Yes, Elf Cosmetics, it's this color. The product placements in the movie were incredibly obvious, and also part of the problem with the overall movie itself, which was a movie that did not really understand what made the original work the way that it did. Specifically, a lot of the costuming, there's been a lot of criticisms of that. As far as when it comes to Regina, she is not someone who would be using Elf Cosmetics. She just wouldn't, okay? She's literally supposed to be a god to these high schoolers. She would not be wearing a brand that you can get at Target on your way home from school, okay? So that you can copy her the next day. That's just not something that she would do. So everyone was talking about the product placements in the movie. So I went in expecting that, okay? I went in expecting to see, my name is Regina George, okay, with Elf Cosmetics, like literally like imprinted, burned into the screen. That's what I was expecting. What I was not prepared for, what none of you warned me about, was the true crime style commercial for Elf Cosmetics that I caught the tail end of when I was walking into the theater. And that is what we are talking about today, more than anything. This is from the Elf Cosmetics YouTube channel. They literally have crime scene tape in their profile picture. In 2023, reports of intergenerational cosmetic theft hit an all-time high, with the majority of these crimes occurring within the home. A documentary crew travels to Valleberg, Michigan, to take a deep dive into one family's elf pinching story. I just want to make sure you understand that we are walking into this together, head first.
We grow up being told to be careful who we trust. We grow up believing that those closest to us. It's really hard. Sorry.
So this true crime style documentary is certainly a choice for marketing. This is 14 minutes and 30 seconds long. We're going to go through the whole thing. I think there's a way to do this where it's less unsettling than what it is, okay? Because yes, my products are so good, my whole family is stealing from me. Like I'm running out of products. That's literally a trend that happens on TikTok where women are talking about, you know, their boyfriends or their husbands or their friends, their roommates, whatever, stealing their skincare products because, oh, it makes my skin feel good or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it costs $80. Okay. Now that is a whole thing on TikTok of an ongoing thing. So there was something there. There was a way they could do that with this. Instead, they went the true crime route.
I began to notice little things, unexplainable things. Some blush on the sink. Am I going crazy? Or is someone stealing my makeup?
I think what bothers me so much about this is like there are documentaries, okay, about theft. There are documentaries showing how violating that can feel and things like that. They're not doing this in the style of one of those documentaries of like, oh my gosh, they took all my money and we almost lost our home. Like they're not doing it in that style. They're doing this like she's been abducted and she's been returned home and like someone in her family like orchestrated her abduction. That's the way they are shooting this. And I think that's what irks me. It's just, it's a little bothersome, okay? God, did they play the whole 14 minutes? I caught the tail end of this in the theater, okay? Did they play the whole 14 minutes prior to the movie?
What we have here is an epidemic. Intergenerational cosmetic larceny, aka cos crime, also known on the street as elf pinching.
And see, this is what I'm talking about here. They do this segment that is almost like TikTok Live, Instagram Live, essentially showing what I talked about like, yeah, oh my God, someone is stealing all of my makeup. This is an epidemic. It keeps happening. Everyone is stealing my elf cosmetics. There was something here that focused on that, but instead they gave us this.
Today was gonna be the big day.
No event more important in the life of a teen than promposal.
I had it all planned out. My putty primer, my Halo Glow foundation, my elf lip oil, obsessed. Everything I needed for a major video moment. But when I stepped into the bathroom...
Side tangent. This whole scene of her realizing her makeup is gone would be way more impactful if she wasn't already wearing a full face of makeup. Just saying. I get it's a commercial, but you're not selling it. I'm like, okay, what you have on looks great. Wear that. What's the problem? Why do you know about your promposal happening?
It was all gone. I was shook.
Well, I heard that she texted Madison, who was drill squad friends with Kayla, who was dating Ari's best friend Elijah, to postpone the promposal. The message never got to Ari.
See, she's wearing less makeup in this shot than the other one.
You go to prom with me?
No! I texted, I told no, not today! Not today!
See, this shows she's unhinged. It does not show that she got her makeup stolen.
Seeing that video cut me up inside. We launched an investigation.
We launched an investigation. Jesus. If you're not understanding what's happening here, because I may have to clip out a couple of these things because of the music, because I don't want to copyright claim, because I want money, because I want to pay my bills, obviously. The detective is saying that watching the videos of her freaking out, that led them to looking into the missing makeup. Nothing with the promposal had anything to do with makeup. She herself didn't even mention, not today, my makeup's not done. Like, that's an easy line fix. Like, my makeup's not done, not today. I have no makeup on, and then a meltdown over that. But she didn't do that. So the investigation would be, what is happening in this girl's home that she had this type of meltdown? What is happening in the school that she had this type of meltdown? What is happening in the school that they are allowing the cyberbullying of all these videos to be made of this girl having a little bit of a mental health emergency, okay, over a promposal at school? What is happening there? I don't think the leap would be, it's the makeup. That's just a narrative issue that I think could be fixed storytelling-wise.
Then we caught our first big break. In the cosmetic crime world, they call this a face-off. We told the sketch artist to pack up and go home. We had our perp.
But he posts a lot, he burns through makeup, and I know he loves Elf.
Sometimes you gotta go with your cop gut.
I want you to understand how low cost e.l.f. Cosmetics is. So for the lipstick, that's $9. Eyeliner pen, $7. Lash roll, mascara, $6, $9, $8, $13, okay? You get what I'm saying, okay? Affordable makeup. I don't even think that stealing this from someone's home classifies as theft. Like, it's definitely not grand larceny, you know? So it's like to bring them in on this level as if he has stolen jewels, like as if he was part of the bling ring, okay, is crazy. And I know someone's gonna be like, Amanda, it's fake. It's fun. Is it fun? I don't know what's happening here.
Look, we know he stole the makeup. Just make it easy on everybody and tell us why you did it.
I didn't steal anything. I have more than enough makeup.
So you wouldn't want more? Look, I eat cheeseburgers all the time. I don't stop eating them.
You guys, I am literally in jail right now, and this lighting is awful, but we're still gonna try to keep a contoured look. So to start, I took a little bit of—
I'm sorry, a TikTok live from jail is kind of hilarious. Okay, that's funny. I'll give them that. That's funny. That's kind of hilarious. Because they do that. Prison talk is a real thing on TikTok. That's real.
Because again, if you only contour in like one part of the face, it's not gonna look balanced. So you need to make sure that you're doing it like the whole way around.
That's when the feds took over.
The feds. We're not even at grand larceny.
The Bureau was getting heat from the DOJ to do something about this cause crime wave that was ripping across the country. Set up a wiretap on his phone. And soon learned that the suspect was about to skip town on a family vacation to Woot Woot Water Park. The suspect's family lived in Michigan. Woot Woot is in Indiana. As soon as the suspect crossed state lines with that stolen merch, it's a federal crime.
That's when you get jurisdiction. That's when you get brought in. It's not a fed crime until you have the amount or you've crossed the state lines. So if they cross state lines, then it's committed a federal crime. Okay. I consume too much true crime content to go with this. I think that's it. I think I'm just too brain rotted to think this is fun. I think that might be it.
We got a call to stand down.
Nana? Where you been all glammed up?
It's Friday night.
I just remember thinking, where'd you get all that makeup, Nana?
Kind of shitty to your Nana. Your Nana can't go out and buy herself makeup. Your Nana doesn't know how to be slay queen girl boss. Kind of ageist, Olivia. Like, why must it be your makeup that she's wearing?
Whoa. I didn't steal from Olivia. We're family.
So where did you get all that makeup?
Well, I borrowed it. The Holy Hydration Face Cream from Brian, Duo-Proof Eyeliner Pen from the textbook where Charlotte was hiding it, the Lash and Roll Mascara from Carolyn. Okay, I did also borrow an O-Face lipstick from Olivia. It's not stealing, it's borrowing.
So borrowing and then bringing it all with you, I think, is the question. They're skipping over the part where she put her whole face into a towel with the makeup on it and left it behind, and that's been the premise of this investigation and why Zayden went to jail. Why would you do that? Like, even to remove makeup, you don't just... That shows me that e.l.f. products are cheap. I don't think that does what you think it does. That would be like, oh yeah, e.l.f. products don't stay on. You take a dry towel and you can just like literally plop it off so you have a perfect photo negative of someone's face.
Is it too much to ask as a mother to borrow my firstborn's makeup without a Spanish Inquisition?
Stole her eyeliner pen and her eyeshadow, but... Wow, this stuff is really waterproof. My entire family stealing from me and lying to me. But why? e.l.f. is so affordable, just buy your own!
I'm gonna be honest, for Cosmetic Crime, I don't think it's e.l.f. they're ripping off. I think it's like Dior. I think it's like YSL. I think it's like Gucci makeup. I think it's like Mineral Cosmetics. It's not e.l.f. I think that's the entirety of this. Apparently they've been playing this as a commercial for other videos here on YouTube. That's a lot of what the comment section looks like. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that you're deleting all bad comments, but these are all very positive for a brand, especially for a commercial for before videos. Like videos, ads played before videos, those do tend to get hate comments en masse. So the fact that these are all positive. 111 comments on a video with 800,000 views. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you guys have deleted a couple of things. Like I said, it's the overall big picture. Okay, so when I searched e.l.f. Cosmetics for news, it's all the true crime mockumentary. Okay, deep diving it. But when I search e.l.f. Cosmetics cult, we've got how this viral TikTok trend became linked to a sex cult. Nixium's sex cult ties could torpedo e.l.f. stock. e.l.f. stock falls after short seller Spruce Point alleges ties to defunct Nixium cult. This is how this viral TikTok trend became linked to a sex cult from E.J. Dixon. Marketing firm Movers and Shakers helped e.l.f. Cosmetics take off, but now questions about the founders' alleged pacts in Nixium are making investors nervous, even though they deny any connection to the group. Jeffrey Goldberg and Evan Horowitz are the married co-founders of Movers and Shakers, a Brooklyn-based ad agency that has collaborated with brands like Netflix, Neutrogena, Tinder, and Arm & Hammer. They are perhaps best known for their work with makeup brand e.l.f., with whom they created the hugely viral TikTok campaign such as 2019's Eyes, Lip, Face trend, which was promoted by celebrities and influencers such as Reese Witherspoon, Lizzo, and Addison Rae. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe this was the trend. Like, let's say I have lipstick, I put it on, and then as I'm done putting it on, I go like this, and then suddenly you're watching another content creator, okay, who's also doing something with makeup. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Aside from the song, I had no idea this was related to e.l.f. So I don't know how successful of a marketing tool it was. Trends, when they explode, you know, you do tend to lose the initial origins of the trend. Last month, Movers and Shakers was acquired by the communications company the Stagwell Group for $15 million, prompting headlines in advertising and marketing trade publications. Following the sale, whispers started circulating that Goldberg and Horowitz had previously been associated with Nixium, the subject of the HBO documentary series The Vow. Such whispers culminated with a recently released report by e.l.f. investors Spruce Point Capital Management shorting the e.l.f. stock and detailing Goldberg and Horowitz's alleged historical ties to the organizations. Goldberg and Horowitz deny any knowledge of wrongdoing within the organization. In a statement to Ad Age, they said they were only involved with a professional leadership training course called the Executive Success Programs, ESP, a self-help program launched under the Nixium umbrella. And that when the shocking and abusive behavior by some of Nixium's leaders were revealed, we ceased our participation entirely. We strongly condemn the abhorrent actions conducted by some of the leaders within Nixium. Based in Rainier's rational inquiry method, ESP was a melange of hypnosis techniques, 1970s self-help programs, and the Ayn Rand-inspired ideology objectivism. One former member previously told Rolling Stone to recognize some ESP tactics from the book Stress Management for Dummies. ESP achieved some degree of popularity in the early 2000s, with executives and celebrities like Smallville's Kristen Kruk briefly taking courses. The article goes on to detail more about Movers and Shakers. My point with bringing all this up is that I think that this, and this coming out last couple of months in November, okay, we're now into January, obviously. Why this comes out now is so that when you search, you know, the news articles around e.l.f., you guys get their mockumentary and not things talking about how they were working with a marketing company that may or may not have had ties to a sex cult. That's all. That's really it. I'm just like, that's where I'm coming from with that, is that it's like, I think this was a strategic move. Now, you can sit here and be like, hey, there's no way that they knew. If you're just a company that's looking for a marketing company, you would just be like, oh, you've done X, Y, and Z. That's cool. We can do X, Y, and Z too. I think that the true crime mockumentary came out at this time to try and distance themselves further from the ties to a marketing company that has connections to a sex cult. Allegedly. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And that's totally like their prerogative to do. I personally think it's in poor taste. I get why you did it, allegedly, if this is the reason. Okay, I totally get it. And I get it. It's very in-your-face marketing. Like, look, our products are so good, people are willing to steal over them. Forget even like Nixium's ties and like the fact that there are actual victims involved and things like that. You know, like let's forget that, you know, because it seems like maybe you did. I just think it's poor taste. Like, I do think there was a way to do this where it was like less weird. Like there's ways to do this in a way where it's like you're actually referencing like actual theft documentaries and not referencing abduction, murder documentaries. You get my point? Like, I do think there's there's a difference, you know, for like what we could draw on for source material and also just narrative wise. I think there was ways to do that better, but that's just me. As far as like Mean Girls goes, I can't fix that. I think they filmed that movie, I think in 2 weeks is what they said. I think they cut a lot of corners and they were just looking for money. Do I think that Elf is connected to NXIVM? No, I think that they used a marketing company that may have had ties to NXIVM. Poor research and poor planning on their side, and oversight at the very least. But does that mean that Elf is automatically tied to NXIVM? No, I don't think so. Anyways, that's just it. I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, Elf Cosmetics is connected to NXIVM. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. I am just saying that I think that that's why they did the mockumentary style of commercial. You can like the commercial, like fully. You guys can like it all you want. That was something where it's like, I like the commercial. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean that you also have to not like it. You are an individual with your own thoughts. Please have them. You don't always have to agree with me. But yeah, that's really it. Do you like Elf Cosmetics? Have you bought Elf Cosmetics? Did you also laugh out loud when you saw some of the Elf Cosmetics product placements inside of Mean Girls? Because some of it, it wasn't even like subtle. It was just like a boom, Elf lipstick on the edge of the desk with the logo facing out. Boom, in your face. Anyways, let me know, comment down below. Reminder, I have a podcast, Swell Shenanigans. Reminder that Swell Entertainment is now available on Spotify. Reminder that I am also streaming on Twitch. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for streaming on Patreon. If you also like to subscribe to my Patreon, leave us down below. Like to my social media, that'll be all up here. And that's going to have a lovely day. Goodbye. I just don't get the video. Like, why the videos made me sick to my stomach. We launched an investigation. Like, it would be an investigation into her and her motivations for doing that. Like, that's one scene we sat down with her and had a conversation about why she acted this way. And that's when we found out about the stolen makeup. Like, that's all it takes. One line. That's it. All I'm saying.
Dira, Amy, Andrew, Angel, Aslan, Cameron, Corey, Donnie, Elliot, Glenn, Goth, Jasmine, Kenny, Lauren, Literal, Madeline, Mae West, Medic, Micah, Michael, Nathan, Palace, Pink, QWERTY, Rachel, Randy, Robert, Rosie, Ryan, Sam, Skylar, Tasha, Tenzin, Thomas, Heavenly, Victor, Winter, Zwink.